Traffic sponsored by Waba Grill. It's for you. There's a lot happening. A Long Beach accident. It's northbound 710 at Long Beach Boulevard. You're going to see that on the right shoulder. A Bellflower crash has the left lane blocked, westbound side of the 91 before Lakewood Boulevard. There's heavy traffic there from the 605. Another carpool lane accident for West Covina, eastbound 10 after Vincent Avenue. That's why you're slow from about Puente Avenue. And then Anaheim injury accident, eastbound 91, right after Glassell. That has the carpool lane and the left lane both blocked. CHP is there with it. Expect heavy traffic from East Street. And why do they grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Their Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins and fresh steamed vegetables. Right now, get a value bowl combo for only $8.99 for a limited time. Waba Grill, it's for you. It's Gregory. That's your Alt 98.7 traffic.
Well, congratulations to Alyssa, who is in Encino.
Lucky.
Now on the list for the Woody Show After Hours Takeover at Disney California Adventure, Monday, April 21st. Another chance to win coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, right around 8:50, and every hour this morning and all this week, every hour, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. here on The Woody Show. You got a bonus chance to sign up and win. Just hit up thewoodyshow.com.
This is weird. The Woody Show.
And we are into another new hour. Insensitivity training for a politically correct world. It is Monday. It is February the 24th. 2025. My name is Woody. That is Menace.
Hi.
We've got Sammy.
Hello.
There's Seabass. Yeah. And then the return, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the beautiful-eyed legend.
Oh, babe.
Greg Gorey is here.
Yeah! I've never been happier for a new day.
Yeah. Well, we are so happy to have you back.
Thanks.
We've had a lot of conversation already, so you know how we all feel about you, and we love you, and we're happy that you're back, and sorry for everything that you've been going through.
Well, thank you very much. It was 2 weeks that felt like an indescribable amount of time. Like thinking about the day that I took off to go be there at the hospital felt like a year ago. It feels like a year ago.
Yeah.
It's so long. Learned way too much about death and dying. I learned way too much.
Well, for a guy who's always been obsessed by it.
Yeah, about the finite amount of time that we have on this earth.
But
you've always been thinking, but when it comes to like your own mortality.
Yeah, which scares me a little bit less, but that was
going to be my question. So now that had you ever been with somebody when they had died before?
No, and that was not fun. It's so haunting. The thing is, the dynamic of what it was, me being next to my brother with my parents there too, and there's no way to say it without being really blunt. They thought he was about to vomit, and I knew, no, I don't think that's what this is. It was dying, and it was so haunting and scary, and it actually happened pretty fast. Not the lead up to it. That's the part that sucks. The waiting is, you see the decline, you see the mental decline. Because he had organ failure, he had something called toxic brain damage, which affected his memory. He was hallucinating. I had to witness him thinking that there were people in the room that weren't there. He thought there were people on the ceiling that weren't.
He thought you were a ghost.
He thought I was a ghost because I was wearing white. He didn't know how many months in a year there were. You could see and hear the rapid mental decline, and the physical decline goes without saying. I learned about something called terminal agitation, that you itch a lot as you're kind of spending your last days. You get real itchy. I spent way too much time in a hospital. I memorized the floor plan, met all the nurses, have a whole newfound respect for nurses. Not that I didn't respect them to begin with, but they do stuff that I couldn't do to my own family member.
Yeah.
I mean, it is incredible what they do. Spent way too much time at this aftercare facility where she spent all of 24 hours in. And then one of the biggest things I learned is funerals are incredibly difficult to coordinate. I was so naive. I thought when somebody died, you go to a funeral home and you say, hey, I want to do Tuesday. That would be great. Thanks. And they handle it. Well, you got to coordinate the priest, the funeral home, and the cemetery. So the cemetery can do one day, but the funeral home can't. And the priest can't do Wednesday. He can only do Thursday. Then the cemetery can't do Friday, but they can do Tuesday. But then you're back to square one because the funeral home can't do it. How do people throw off funerals so quickly?
I mean, Jews figured out within 24 hours.
Exactly. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
industry. Oh, sorry. You think this would be an industry that is coordinated, like they do?
Yeah.
It's your job. You do this every day.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then they have a limited staff. They take holidays. They said, oh, because Monday's a holiday, that's going to be an issue. I said, whoa. Funeral homes
Have holidays.
Oh, yeah, we do holidays, weekends. What? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Then I had the fun task of finding what clothing to pick out for him to be buried in, the catering, the flowers, the transportation. It was so much to do, and that's helps a lot after somebody passes, is being busy, because I had my first non-busy day 2 days ago, and I was losing my mind. So I just started cleaning things just to keep busy, because you want to kind of forget about the past 2 weeks. And then also the emotions that I had were so over the map, and I felt an overwhelming guilt I felt guilty if I was hungry. I felt guilty if I got horny. I felt guilty if I was tired. I felt guilty.
Why?
Because, I'm watching my parents go through this. My brother died, and then I'm tired. Oh, I'm tired. I just felt guilty for every emotion that I had. It's very strange. And then I was so incredibly overwhelmed when I saw you guys walk in. That meant so much to me, and it just really overwhelmed me. I'm so thankful for that. I'm so lucky for that. I know so many people that can't be in that position to have their friends just show up at the spur of a moment on an unplanned event like a funeral. And the fact that you guys were there, it meant more to me than I expressed to you verbally and in writing. And I'll never be able to express how thankful I was for that.
Well, and I've told Greg there was no way that we were going to miss it. And obviously, not everybody could go based on their own circumstances and things that were going on. Seabass said that his gift to you was not going.
That's a nice gift.
I told you he'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
I put myself in Greg's shoes. I'm like,
No,
well, Greg wants
that's
Seabass showing
No,
up.
Greg, out of curiosity, what would you have thought if you saw, I'm walking in, Menace is walking in, there's my wife, there's Sammy, and then all of a sudden, Seabass walks in, what's your thought?
My initial reaction would be
could you just ask the funeral director, can you do a 2-for-1?
No, those days are long over. I think Seabass made the right choice not to go, because it would have been a distraction for me mentally.
That's my
I would have
thought.
thought why is he here? I know he doesn't.
doing a bit.
Right. I would. That's where my mind would go.
Is he wearing a costume?
What's the ulterior motive? Is he wearing a hidden camera?
Is he going to object to the funeral?
Right. Is he going to say something?
And for all you texters who said, "Oh, Seabass, you need to go," no, I was thinking of Greg's feelings.
Yeah. No, you did the right thing not going. I wouldn't have been angry, or I would have been suspicious.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't want
very
to make it as easy on him as possible.
Yeah, that was the right choice.
And by the way, Greg, speaking of which, in front of you right now,
a beautiful apple fritter
with a heart-shaped doily.
Oh, is that what that is?
Oh, very nice.
An apple fritter
On a huge plate.
Oh, babe. Well,
For you, Menace.
Really nice.
now, I think I did already leak the news that Seabass had given us while you were out. I can't remember when it was at this point. Remember over the holidays, it was Seabass, Secret Santa.
Claus.
Yeah, and he was giving us gifts and everything else. And he gifted the show, and it was for us to figure out who would get it. But then he just decided to make an executive decision. He said that because of what you went through, he has made the decision that you, Gregory, will get the ride in the Cybertruck.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What is the value on that?
Oh, priceless.
Hundreds, thousands.
How much do I have to pay for this?
Oh, nothing at all, Greg. It's
Well,
my gift to you.
Great.
wait,
Now, can Greg
wait.
borrow the Cybertruck? Could he take it? Can he have the Cybertruck for a day?
I wouldn't trust myself with it.
Yeah, because it does take a second to get used to the steering, because that steer-by-wire stuff, it's very responsive to...
So is that a no? Or
like Greg just said, I don't think he'd
I
want
wouldn't
to.
trust myself with
Yeah,
it.
I think it'd be too stressful. And
Does
again,
it have a steering wheel or one of those weird...
yolks?
Oh, is that what that is?
Like a sweet-ass jet.
would he?
Yeah. It's
super
just like a
cool.
jet.
So again, I'm always thinking of Greg and his stress level. I think this would be the anti-stress. I'll just drive him around with these things.
Wait, I just want to clarify. I don't have to pay for this experience?
Don't put it. I mean, I
complimentary?
could 1099 you, because it's probably worth more than $600.
Oh, it's worth way more.
Sure.
But you know what? Between you and me, and not the IRS.
So how are your parents doing?
My dad, it seems okay. I had never in my entire life, and I issue not, I had never once seen him so much as shed a tear. and I've seen him cry 3 or 4 or maybe 5 times in the last 2 weeks. So that's very, not disturbing, but it's sad to me. And then my mom, I thought, handled things pretty well, but I don't think she's doing very well behind the scenes. She's very reclusive now.
Yeah.
Super quiet.
She was very sweet.
Oh, she was so nice
I was
and
surprised.
funny.
I mean, everybody loved your
was
parents.
funny.
We spent a lot of time, chopping it up with your mom and with your dad. And
That was another thing that I thought was really cool. I'm like, wow, you guys are in my childhood home. You're talking to my parents. Now you get to see that they don't have these thick accents.
what are you talking about? He was like, yes, hello, Woody. Thank you for coming.
And you got to see how when you're half Russian, a funeral has a lot to do with shots. We did a lot of shots.
Yeah. There was shots. There was a lot of chanting / singing.
Yeah.
That kind of threw me off about the ceremony because Russian Orthodox.
Yes.
Right. This guy's up there. He's got this crazy hat on and he's got this giant beard and
He's in garb. Yeah.
That's Father Stephen.
But a lot of a smoking, swinging purse thing.
Yeah, that's the incense.
Yeah. Anyway, so then he said he kind of laid out what the ceremony was going to be in the very beginning.
Right.
I'm like, wow, it sounds very ambitious.
Yeah.
And then the Indigo girls get up there. These 2 chicks get up there, and they start singing with the
right. It's
with
kind of
priest.
like almost like a talking, singing kind of.
Yeah. It kind of it reminds me of like a bar at bat mitzvah. Where things
really?
where things are kind of in a melody.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
we out here.
Yeah. So they get up there, and then. What surprised me, it was like one long song. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I expected, I thought this is kind of like the opening act, right? There's going to be this song, and then we're going to go into these different things. But the whole thing.
It was kind of one giant.
Greg, and for a guy who doesn't like musicals,
yeah, some of the, don't you think that some of the chanting, singing, it was just like, okay, wrap it up.
Well, it was I clocked it. It was 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Was it?
Of a
It
song.
was impressive, though. The breath work to be able to sing like that for that long.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Yeah. And then also having that meeting with the priest where he convinced us to do open casket, which
I was wondering how you thought about that.
By the rules.
I was so shocked because I know how you feel about that.
Well, my mom was adamant against it. The priest was adamant for it. My dad was kind of adamant for it because he's way more into the church than any of us are. I'm not into it at all. So they decided on it, and for me, it actually wasn't that bad. I thought because having been with Mike for 2 weeks, well, not quite 2 weeks, about 6 days before he passed away, I thought, this is going to sound strange, I thought he looked better on that day than he did the previous week. They did a good job. Did not appreciate the reality of it, seeing it,
right?
And all that. It sucks, and I'm happy it's over. I feel guilty today because I'm in a good mood. I'm laughing already because I'm happy to be here. I feel like I shouldn't even be laughing, but I guess I'll just see where the world takes me now.
Don't feel guilty. You're free to feel, and people have heard that different ways to deal with things. And for a lot of people, that escape is really good. If you've had 2 weeks, man, where you've just been in it.
Yeah, just in the trenches of the same topic.
So when we've been talking, it's like, I can really feel from you how much you just want to get back to
I do.
Normal.
I really do.
What's the word I just came up with the other day?
Normalcy.
Normalcy.
Yeah, you left it.
Yeah.
New word.
We have a new word.
That's
normalcy.
What's the other one that you say? Fictional?
Fictional.
Fictional.
Yeah.
And normalcy.
Yeah. I mean, they sound good.
They do. That sounds
they could
normalcy sounds better than normalcy.
Right. Yeah. That's what I was going for.
It could be real.
Sounds more normal.
But we're happy here, and we love you. Welcome back.
And I love you guys, and thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Especially for dealing with it.
It sucks, why we were there, but it was really cool to hang out with your parents.
Good.
They were
They
very
appreciated
nice
it. That gave my mom. You asked how my mom's doing. You guys being there gave her a lot of. I don't know what the word is. Happiness or kind of some comfort in the fact that I had my support, so she doesn't have to worry about me, kind of deal.
That's nice.
Yeah, so
she was very.
It made
she was
her
so sweet.
feel better. Yeah,
She showed us your artwork.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed about that.
Yeah, which I gave to Seabass because he's going out to the art expo to talk to those art snobs.
Yeah.
And we'll get their feedback on some of your artwork.
I was like, I can't remember how old I was when I did the one that was on the mantle and the family room.
Oh, I haven't sent that one to Seabass yet.
I was in a Modrion phase. I was trying to be a Modrion. I'm like, oh, I could do that.
Okay, so there's
and
one.
It's so bad.
There's one area of Greg's parents' house where it's. I'm assuming it's like a little dining area, like a little like off the kitchen, a little casual dining area. But they have like a bar set up there. There's a little wine fridge and everything else, and there's another like rack of stuff for drinking wine stuff. Well, right above that,
it's terrible.
It's one of Greg's paintings that he did, and I'm like, oh, look, it's the flag of France,
right?
And he goes, I'm not sure that was supposed to be America. But I thought it was like kind of going with like the whole wine thing, and
so stupid.
For folks who aren't art snobs, man, as Pierre Mondrian was a Dutch painter who did like colored squares, and
So this is what's sitting on his parents' mantle that Greg did.
But tan and burgundy.
It's like a fabric swatch, like when you're picking out a new couch.
You know why I chose those colors? Because that was the color of my house, and I used house paint to do that. I mean, I realized that I like the idea of painting more than actually painting.
You're like Picasso.
Oh yeah,
you are. And this was done like not when he was a child. This was.
Oh no,
he signed it.
I might have been in my 30s.
Yeah, he signed it, and it says Greg, March of 2012.
Yeah. Well, Greg, with me going and showing these to art, not only dealers, but other collectors, you might be making a lot of money.
I'll be making pennies. Yeah, just pounds of pennies.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for coming back so quickly. I wasn't quite sure how you would be and how you feel about it, but
the burial is today, and I'm frankly glad I won't be there.
Yeah, we're happy to have you back. Greg Gorey is back, everybody. Hip hop hooray!
Thank you guys. Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break. More Woody Show is next. I think what you're talking about, that sensation, I don't think the diaper makes it so that you want to pee. I think there may be some kind of effect where you've gone. I can feel the warmth kind of like heading down toward my testicles.
The Woody Show. Alt 98.7. LA's new alternative.
Booker and Stryker celebrating.